Welcome to RidgeLife. Today we are going to harvest our first honey supers. This is the first week of June and we've got 2 honey supers on this second year colony. Over here we have a new colony that we just established this spring from a nuke. And if you see, come over here. So we have the first deep, and this is where we put the original first 5 frames from the nuke, and you can see they've worked out all the way to the outside edges. Let's come around this side. And you can see all the way to the outside edges. So we added a second deep, and on the second deep, you see there's no wax on the outside here. They're full of bees all the way up to the second deep. Over here, you can see a little bit of wax on the inside foundation frame, and I've got a foundationless frame right here, and I can't see if they're building any at the top there, but this is just a ton of bees. The queen is doing great. We've got a feeder on here, and we're still in the flow, so they're not taking of it right now. Okay, before we harvest these first 2 honey supers, we're going to smoke the bees a little bit just to calm them down, and then we're going to use this vapor board. The vapor board has felt on the inside, and we're going to spray a small amount of Honey Bandit on it. Let it sit about 5 minutes on top of the hive. We'll adjust it a little bit so air flows through, but you can see as the sun hits the top of this vapor panel, it will cause the Honey Bandit vapors to go throughout the hive, and the bees will then go down to the supers. You don't want too much or they'll fly out, but that will allow us to extract or remove the honey frames without having too many bees on them. Then we'll put them in here in this container to keep the bees off of them and take them back to the house for extraction. So let's do a little smoke here. We don't want to smoke them too much. We don't want the smoke getting in the honey in the supers. Just get a little bit there. Come up here, Morgan. You can see how many bees we're going to have when we start, and then we'll see how many when we stop. I'm also going to inspect and see how many frames we're going to extract. Come on over here. Which ones are ready, which ones are not ready. Oh, Morgan, look at this. So that is not capped, but that is fully capped on the outside. So that one is ready to extract, but that side is not. So that one's not ready today. That one is ready, both sides. Okay. That one, see, I like about 80%. So that one's full on that side, and that one is not quite on this side. So I'm gonna put this over here. We only get 3 that are 100% ready. This is our first time of ever extracting honey. I'll be fine with that today. See, this one here, this is a foundationless. See how there's no plastic foundation in there? So this one we're going to cut up for comb honey. So we'll be able to eat the whole comb. It's gonna be delicious. So we're gonna spray a light amount of Honey Bandit on the inside of here. Felt clogging up on me. this on the top here. Talk it just a little bit. Come over here. So as the sun hits this, it's going to allow airflow, and the vapors coming off of this will cause the bees to go down, 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 down. So we'll come back in about 5 minutes and see what we have. Come on over and we'll see if the paperboard works. Come on over. Yeah. Come down here and look. I don't see any bees. So let's keep that right there. We're going to extract these 3 right here. Keep that right there so it keeps the smell on them. Put this on it real quick. Come over here. What we've got set up here. I've got a empty medium frame. We're just going to bring the box. Bring the 3 frames over here, cover it up real quick, keep the bees out. Head down. We'll start extraction. One guy came up. Next thing. Just a couple bees on there. Let's get them off. Okay. One to go. Gonna be a small extraction. 3 for our first time ever. Give us some practice before the big jobs come. Take the vapor board down. And then when we get the honey extracted out of those, the comb will still be on the honey. We're not going to extract all the comb. It spins the honey out of the cells. We'll put those back down here, and since the wax is already still there and all the cells are still there, they'll just have to start filling it again, so they don't have to remake all their wax comb. So let me get the inner cover back on. Yeah, they got the bees down pretty quick. We didn't really leave it on very long. I probably could have left it on a little bit longer. The sun's not out to really heat it up. It's kind of cloudy today. So, ants off of this. Alright. Put this right here. Keep the bees away from us. We'll head out. So we'll head down to the house, start our extraction. We made it back to the house with our 3 frames of honey. This is going to be our first honey extraction at Macon Ridge Farms. We're really excited. We're not expecting to get too many bottles out of these 3 frames, but this will be our trial run at a larger extraction. So we've got everything set up. We have our 3-frame manual extractor. Put it on a base so it doesn't wobble. Nice and stable. We've got our 4-gallon honey bucket with a coarse, medium, and fine filter. We will put the frames on the 4-gallon bucket over the coarse filter, and I made this device here that I can set on the bucket, and then when I put the frame on to cut the wax cappings, it will hold it in place. We have our capping knife. We also have our capping fork. This you can scrape across the cells to help remove the cappings. And then we have our 3 frames full of honey. All right, let's pull the frames out. We'll start with this full one here. So we can see no bees. And oh, this is the one that had the, see, it's on like 60% on this side. And usually you want it to be about 80% before you cap it, before you extract it. But we're going to go ahead and do this one. If you do it too soon, it'll ferment and have too much water in it. But we're not going to let this last that long, so we'll be just fine. Actually, we'll start with that one. Okay, so I'll put this right here. If I made this little device here with a screw on it, we'll hold that there while I try to cut it off. So we have our knife, and you try to separate the frames a little farther when they're drawing out the comb. That gives you something to cut off. Can you imagine? See how this one's almost flush? It's going to be hard to cut that off. So I'll use my capping fork to get the last bit of it if it doesn't work. So we'll start off. Start right here. Put your fingers on. It's not very sharp, so you got to hold it. I'll just do it like this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you do it.
Over here, Morgan, get behind me. Isn't that beautiful? Wow, look at that pouring out. That's not working very well. Like you said, you probably should have heated this up a little bit.
He lost his ball, though, honey.
Well, it's still going in the bucket. So.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let me try the capping fork. See how that works. That works better, doesn't it? If you don't uncap it, it can't pour out when you extract it. It's all going to go in this bucket. We're going to filter it multiple times anyways. Make sure it's all uncapped. Okay, spin it around. Oops, no, put it on the.
You have a hole in it?
No, it's
Not in,
soft.
hold on, it's not in the middle. Might work better.
No, it's fine. That's fine. I'm going to use the capping needle on this. Capping fork. Wow, it's just amazing to watch all that. When I first did with that knife a minute ago and it poured out, that was just crazy delicious looking. Alright, so let's open this up. Our first one
You
in.
hold it and I'll bring the bucket over.
Oh, the bucket stays.
No, so you don't drop it.
No, that's fine. Okay, so.
How does it work?
Right here.
Oh, you got it?
Hey, you want to bring the bucket over? Do that. I mean, first time ever, so. Alright. Good. Alright, so I slide that right down here. Come here, look at that, Morgan. How that works. So that just sits right down in there. And as I spin it, that's going to flop out. Let's put that back on there to keep the bees from coming up. Look down here in the bucket. And it's dripping. If you come down here, look through the coarse filter. Look at that. It's our first ever honey at Macon Ridge Farms. Next one. Wow, this one's heavier. This one's got a lot more. I'll try the knife again, so this one looks like it's sticking out
You
more.
want to turn it like that when you're
No.
straightening off, so not get all
I
of
want it on the, see that, there we go, put your fingers. Come behind me, Morgan, look at this, pouring down, look at that. Oh, wow, that's some crazy stuff. Let's see if I can use this to get that. So these are all foundation frames. I was hoping I'd have one without foundation in it ready so we have some comb honey to eat. I think if I had the knife hot, it would pull on that less. So that just pulls that off. Yeah, it's not warm enough for it to really pull. Okay, so I might try that last one with just the fork. See how it does. See how that's all pulling off there? Of course, we'll have people in the comments hopefully give us some instruction to do this better. This is our first time, so.
It's going to take the bees longer to remake that now, isn't it?
It will. That's one thing, yeah. It's going to take the bees a lot longer to build those cells back up. So if I can figure out how to do this smoother, a lot less work for them to do. Good point, Morgan. I did not see it in time. All right. I'm just going to do the capping fork on this one. See how that works. Actually, this. Let me make sure this is a foundation frame.
It's foundationless. I can see through it.
It is foundationless?
I can see through it.
Oh no, it's right here. See it?
Is there a gap on it?
Yeah, there's a gap.
Okay.
Yeah. Let me see. No, it's got foundation. All right. So I'm not going to use a knife on this one. I'm just going to use the capping fork. See if that helps do this easier. I think I kind of like this better. I think the knife may be better if you're we don't have an extractor. So we've got an extractor, so all we need is just the tops off. Now to save it for the bees. This may work a lot better for us. We'll see how it works. Okay, spin it. Isn't that beautiful? And you don't have to get all the honey. The bees will come back, work on it, and do it again. The point is to leave as much of the comb for them as possible. Less work, quicker to get the honey back. You may have seen a bee fly up yet, have they?
Mm-mm. Put that one on your head. Oh!
All right, you ready? Both sides, isn't it? Okay. All right, Morgan, look down in there. All right, so the valve is closed, and we can start. And you can start whichever direction you want to do, Straw. I'm gonna start working on this here.
There.
And this between on
Do I
there.
need to go as fast as I can, or
No.
does it matter? And I know, like, the harder you go, it swings a bit harder. So yes, I should try.
I don't know. This is all new to me too. You go too fast, you may pull out more of the wax from the foundation. Of course, if you go too slow, it's going to take longer. You know, we have the base at the bottom, so it's pretty stable. If we didn't have the base on the bottom, it would flop around. This is the cappings we took off of 3 frames. We're gonna let that sit and just in the heat drip down and collect. We'll see how much honey we have. There's probably 2 ounces of honey down there just dripped out of the cappings. Because we pulled a lot of it out when it came out. So we'll let that sit there and drip.
Yeah, it's taking a while because it's thick.
Morgan, come down here and look. So we have our cappings with honey dripping down, and this tastes wonderful. Watch this. Come on, grab some and get some of that. Morgan, get some.
I'm spinning over here. I'm busy.
Wow, that's good. Alright, I gotta wash my hands.
Your turn. Spin.
Okay, we've extracted 3 frames of honey. They were medium frames, and we had our cappings. We had our cappings that dripped down into our bucket, and you can see how much was collected just from the cappings. And now, this is a coarse filter. We're going to get our first extraction amount into the coarse strainer. We'll do this through the medium and the fine. We're also letting the sun, pulled it out here, everything that was extruded out to the outer wall get melted as the sun heats it up, so we make sure we get as much as we can. We don't waste much. So let's see what pours out here. As close as I can. Oh, look at that. Okay, I'll just tilt this one. Let me take the lid off.
It'll fall.
Oh, that's the little grippies on it. Okay. Oh, look at that. That's delicious looking.
That's like getting oranges with pulp in it.
I need to buy 1 more of these buckets so the next rounds I don't have to keep going through the extractor with the valve. So I need to buy 1 more of these. But it's pretty clean looking honey. All I see is wax. I see a few little small things. Of course, once we get through the filters, it's going to be all gone. But that is really clear looking. Now, after we filter this down through the fine, we're going to let it set for at least 24 hours. All the air bubbles will then rise to the top, and we'll skim off that, and we'll have very, very clear honey. Yeah. If we bottle this too soon, before all those bubbles have come to the top, you'll have bubbles in your honey. It won't be clear, and you'll also get this stuff that will float to the top on your bottle of honey, which will not be good. Okay, we've filtered our 3 frames through a coarse filter. Now we're going to put it in this pot. I wish I had another 4 gallon bucket with a valve on it. That way I could continue to do this. So now we're going to have to transfer to here and go back through the same one with the new filter. So let's go ahead and see what this looks like. I'm going to zoom close into this. Oh, isn't that beautiful? You can see the little bubbles in it. Point down at the bottom. See the bubbles? That's why you gotta let it sit for like 24 hours at least, and all those bubbles will come out and have very, very clear, pure honey. So keep pouring. It's darker than I thought it was gonna be. Glad. Had some sweat bees and some wasps, horsefly come up and bother us. We haven't had any honeybees yet. Of course, we're 150, 200 yards from our apiary. So. Okay, we've course filtered it. We have it in our pot here. Again, this is only 3 frames of honey. So now we're going to put our medium filter on, and we'll leave the coarse filter on, and that way just go through it again. So come over here and look, you can see there's a gap. So we'll pour this now through the medium filter, and it go through the coarse filter, which still has the drippings in it, and we'll eventually those collect out, and we'll go through all 3 of these, and we'll cover it up, let it set for 24 hours, and then we'll tap it off and fill our bottles up. Pour this in. Oh, look at that. That looks delicious. I'll look down in there. Okay, so we poured our honey through our medium filter, and we had the coarse filter below it. I probably should have had the coarse filter above and the medium below it. So what I've got now is the coarse, the medium which just went through, and I have the fine at the bottom. So we're going to bring this through into our metal pan, pour it back through, and go through the coarse again, the medium, and the fine, and then we'll have it in here last. I'll put the fine up one more time, pour it through there, and we'll let it sit in here for at least 24 hours. So it'll be 3-4 times filtered. All the little small bits and everything come out, and we'll let the bubbles come up. We'll skim that off the bottom, and we'll start bottling our honey. So let's get this through. So this has been through a coarse twice and medium once. So only thing you're seeing in there now are really just bubbles. Just that is pure honey. Okay, so we poured our honey through our medium filter, and we had the coarse filter below it. I probably should have had the coarse filter above and the medium below it. So what I've got now is the coarse, the medium which just went through, and I have the fine at the bottom. So we're going to bring this through into our metal pan, pour it back through, and go through the coarse again, the medium, and the fine, and then we'll have it in here last. I'll put the fine up one more time, pour it through there, and we'll let it sit in here for at least 24 hours. So it'll be 3-4 times filtered. All the little small bits and everything come out, and we'll let the bubbles come up. We'll skim that off the bottom, and we'll start bottling our honey. So let's get this through. So this has been through a coarse twice and medium once. So only thing you're seeing in there now are really just bubbles. Just that is pure honey. Well, we got our extraction complete, and we have the honey bottled and labeled now, and we came out with almost 12 ounce by weight bottles of honey. There's 11 right here. We actually have one in our cabinet where the one that was almost full, we're using that to eat dinner tonight. But you can see it turned out to be some beautiful honey. Clarity is amazing. Very, very clear. See, Macon Ridge Farms, pure honey. This was just the initial stickers I'd made off a printing company online. We'll get some better stickers later. You know, there's stickers that are actually made for these half skep hive jars that completely fill the side there. But these will do just fine. But we are very happy with the results of 3 frames. Based on the number of frames I have collecting honey right now in the hives, we expect to get 96 bottles of this size by midsummer. And that should be all we get in the summertime. Then in the fall, there'll be another flow, and it'll be a darker honey in the fall. But I doubt we'll get 96 in the fall flow. So we'll see how it goes. We're really excited and look forward to sharing more of our adventures on the ridge with everyone. So until then, have a blessed day.